Who is the next Khabib Nurmagomedov? Knuckleheads, welcome to the Fighters Rep, where we give you free fights, interviews in the fight game, and fight commentary from the mind of a promoter/attorney. So now that Khabib Nurmagomedov is riding off into the sunset with his shiny UFC lightweight belt intact and with a proverbial cherry on top that is the number one ranking on the pound for pound list, our order of business as huge fans of Khabib Nurmagomedov, who now feel sort of stripped and naked, is to find the next Khabib Nurmagomedov. Now, I want to preface this by saying there probably will not be another Khabib Nurmagomedov. I'm so sorry to disappoint you guys because, listen, 29-0, hasn't lost basically a single round in the entirety of his MMA career. The combination of his crossover appeal and bringing in fans from Russia and the Muslim world and everywhere else, and his piety and his discipline, I mean, it's going to be near impossible to ever replace Khabib Nurmagomedov. But let's discuss who can maybe give us a modicum of that kind of success, even if it isn't to the degree of Khabib Nurmagomedov. Who is going to be the successor to the throne, even if they can't exactly match Khabib Nurmagomedov? And there are a couple guys that come to mind, right? First and foremost, we've got Dustin Poirier. He's going to be taking on Conor McGregor. These are two guys that are now vying for that number one lightweight position. And who knows, could potentially vie one day for a pound for pound position, although I doubt it. But I digress. So Dustin Poirier, he's a good kid. He's a really good kid. He's a good fighter. He's got his good life foundation, so you know he's an honest man. He seems like a quiet man, a self-respecting man, much like Khabib Nurmagomedov, who goes out there, gets the job done, doesn't talk a lot of trash, is very respectful. And I think Dustin Poirier is a guy who a lot of people can get behind. Now, does he have the international star power that Khabib Nurmagomedov does? No. But he's got a fantastic personality, he's a good fighter, and he could potentially be a solid placeholder now that we've lost Khabib. Then we've got the other side of the spectrum, Conor McGregor, who's going to be taking on Dustin Poirier and could very well defeat Poirier again. I mean, he's done it before, right? So we've got Conor McGregor, who does have that massive international star power, arguably even bigger than Khabib's, but the trash talk just does not sit well with the dignified, quiet, reserved, manly men that Khabib was able to resonate with. Conor McGregor actually turns those people off. He's the opposite side of the spectrum. So while he can continue to bring fame and notoriety to the sport, he will not be a successor to Khabib Nurmagomedov. And let's be honest, neither guy can ever compare with Khabib Nurmagomedov's record and dominance, because that's something we've never seen before and something we may never see again. We've also got Justin Gaethje, who Khabib finished in less than 2 rounds last weekend. But as nice of a kid as Justin Gaethje is, and as great of a fighter as he is, again, he's a simple young man from a small coal miner town in Arizona. He's not going to bring that international notoriety. He is more of a respectful kid, but kind of talks with action, talks with his fists, which everybody can get behind. But he's not going to bring the international attention that Khabib did. And as we saw in that fight, he's going to have to really work on his grappling if he wants to be the dominant force in the lightweight division or anywhere even close to what Khabib Nurmagomedov was. Now that brings me to contender number 4, who I think seriously has the potential to be the Khabib successor. And I'm going to tell you who it is, and I'm going to explain myself. And it is none other than Islam Makhachev. Now hear me out. He's 3 years younger than Khabib Nurmagomedov. Basically has the same physique. I believe 5'8" with a 70-inch reach, maybe slightly larger reach than Khabib has. Same sort of background, right? Grew up competing and honed his skills under the legendary Abdul Manap, who was also Khabib's coach and father. May he rest in peace. And no doubt that relationship between Abdul Manap and Islam Makhachev must have molded Islam not only as a fighter, but also as a man, because you cannot, in my opinion, engage in that sort of fighter-coach relationship unless that coach actually believes in you and cares about you, and he's not going to waste his time on you if you're trash, right? So it would be, in my estimation, that Islam Makhachev is a young, pious, quiet, self-respecting kid the way Khabib Nurmagomedov is. Now, he does have one loss on his record, so we can't say he's going to be as dominant as Khabib Nurmagomedov was, at least not as of yet, and he'll never be undefeated. But he's 18-1. He's rattled off 6 wins in a row, and he more than passes the eye test. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. The last time I saw him, I felt like, and at times I've looked at him and I felt like his striking is crisp. And if he has any sort of natural talent advantage over Khabib, it might be his striking. And I would imagine, since they train together, and Khabib loves the kid and helps him and coaches him and they train together, I would imagine Islam's ground game is absolutely sick and probably on par or close to Khabib Nurmagomedov's ground game. Keep in mind, Islam Makhachev also has a gold medal in Sambo. So he's a killer standing up and he's a killer on the ground. Now, another thing that comes to my attention when I'm making this claim that I believe Islam Makhachev may be the next Khabib, or as close as we're going to get to it, is DC went on Ariel Helwani's show, or on the show that they co-host, whatever it is, and he indicated that he was on the phone with Khabib Nurmagomedov for an hour, and what Khabib was talking about was, we need to make Islam a champ. Now, part of that is to continue the legacy that is the American Kickboxing Academy, AKA, where they train out of, because they always tend to have a UFC champ in their ranks. But the other part is no doubt the continuation and the manifestation of Abdul Manap's dream, which was probably also to see Islam Makhachev as the next champ. I mean, I would imagine that Abdul Manap was training Islam Makhachev to be the successor for Khabib, and I believe, based on what Daniel Cormier was communicating, that there's an urgency there from Khabib. It's as if it's Khabib's next mission to make Islam Makhachev a champion. So, while he may not be a 100% perfect replacement, and only time will tell, I do believe that Islam Makhachev will be the next in line, will be the successor to the Khabib throne once the lightweight division kind of clears itself up a little bit more. Knuckleheads, tell me what you think about that. I'd love to hear your opinions. Do you think Islam could be the next Khabib, or at least a successor to Khabib? If so, indicate why in the comments below. If not, also let me know. Subscribe, hit the bell notification icon next to it if you haven't already. Join Knucklehead Nation, get your gear in the link below. We got shirts, masks, hoodies, tank tops. Anything you purchase from below is just getting reinvested right back into the promotion and allowing me to give young fighters like Khabib Nurmagomedov the opportunity to compete and live their dreams. To be honest with you, this creates careers. This does fantastic things for these young fighters when we put on this show. And you'd be contributing to that directly with anything you purchase from the links below. And it would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Knuckleheads, I look forward to hearing what you have to say. We'll talk soon.